Hi. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hey, Kiran, I'm just going to send you an invitation. Hey, Maven, welcome. I'm just going to accept your request.
Hi,
Hello, hi.
there you are.
Yes. Oh my God, you're looking gorgeous.
Thank you, thank you,
Beautiful.
thank
But
you,
it's,
Atul.
it's such a pity that we can't see like your entire ensemble.
I could get up and do a twirl later towards the end of the live when more people are here. I don't mind,
Yeah,
and I also don't mind
absolutely.
giving you a tour of all our stuff here.
That would be
So
fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Kiran. Firstly, I'm so excited to be in conversation with you after all the,
same
phone
here.
calls that we've had and
Yes,
stuff. It's
yes,
so lovely
same
to
here.
actually be able to,
I
meet you.
know.
I mean, as
Yeah,
close as one can get in person, thanks
yeah,
to Instagram. But I'm also excited because we're going to be talking to a dancer, not just about dance, but in a sense, all things about dance.
yes,
Um,
that's right.
and for those who don't know, really, we're here to be, in conversation with Kiranmayee Madupu, basically about her brand new initiative, Tarikita, which is going by her website, the world's first virtual boutique store for Indian classical dancers with unique merchandise designed exclusively for dancers by a dancer. And we're going to be talking about that as well. Honestly, Kiran, you have such a strong, beautiful voice of your own. Like, I mean, I've been following, your
Yes,
Instagram handle for a while now, and I
yes,
love all the posts that you share. It's such a sort of your sort of I talked today about
yeah,
vulnerabilities. You talk about your vulnerabilities, but you're also like celebrating your strengths, and i
yeah,
i really like that. But for those here who probably don't know you, here's a
yeah.
quick introduction. So
Yeah.
Kiranmayee Madupu is from Hyderabad. She's a Bharatanatyam dancer. She's an empaneled artist of the ICCR, sought after solo performer, and she's carved a niche for herself. She's a student of late Guru Himamalini Arni. She's performed across festivals in India and abroad. She is the founder, something that I learned today, of the Hema Arangam, which is the Hema Arangam, the golden platform as it's called, a cultural enterprise that provides Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music training to people in Hyderabad. uh, and also a whole bunch of other artistic initiatives through a whole bunch of innovative ideas. Kiran also works regularly for Speak McKay, has been a TEDx speaker. But at this point, Kiran is the most, in the news because she's the founder of this very interesting brand called Tarikita. And we'll talk about the name as well because I'm so excited by the name. It just has such a beautiful dance-like quality about it. Anyway, Kiran, I want to ask you firstly, how does it feel to be a dancer and an entrepreneur? And within the Tarikita world itself, you're also using your, your creative skills, but you're
Correct.
also it's a business, and you're trying to make it work. So I want
Yes.
to ask you how it has been like for the last 3-4 months that you've been toying with the idea to actually, wear these multiple hats. I mean, you
Hats.
already
Yeah.
wear multiple hats. You're a dancer, you're a
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah.
We're always like juggling these roles. But tell
Absolutely.
us specifically, after Tarikita happened, how has this multitasking been like?
So, first of all, to answer the first part of your question about being a dancer and an entrepreneur, so I kind of am enjoying this a lot because being a performing artist for the last 10 years, I was a freelancer and I'm constantly trying to monetize my skill, my art, and trying to get validation. And it's all a part and parcel of the upcoming artist game,
Yeah.
right? And that can really take a toll on one's whatever, like your confidence or your mental health and all these things. And it's a reality. And suddenly with Tarikita, I feel like I'm getting so much love and so much acceptance, and people are genuinely curious and interested in what I'm presenting through this platform. And I think that's mainly because this is not about me, but it's about the community itself. It's about something that's bigger than just my
Yeah.
dance. It's about
Yeah.
dance in general. It's about what we all are, all our personalities. So I'm really enjoying, and I'm really privileged. I'm feeling privileged to be a part of this. So I'm enjoying this whole entrepreneurial,
Journey.
phase of my life, and yeah, it's kind of all making sense. Like it's all coming together, and I'm really liking it. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I'm liking the journey. And about the hats, yeah, it is really difficult to wear like the creative hat and the business hat. Especially being an artist myself, I can't, compromise on a few things. Like I want it to look a certain way, or the aesthetics of it, or the principles behind what I put in my store. But it also has to be economically. It has to make sense. It has to be viable. So that constant battle is something I face myself too. But I think people have been far too kind. It's been 3 months since Tarikita, launched. I mean, we first started with an Insta, kind of an informal shop, and then we launched our website. But we're like selling out most of our saris, and I'm getting a lot of orders from folks abroad, like a lot of NRI dancers. So I'm really liking this, and it's giving me a lot of like positive affirmation that yeah, this is working and we can figure
Yeah.
something out. So I think for now I haven't really had to make the choice between the business hat and the creative hat, because whatever hat I'm wearing seems to be working. So yeah, in due course I'll know what I should be doing more.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, Kiran, I moved from being a journalist to an entrepreneur, and
Right.
yeah, and I kind of still continue to do both. And I often
Yes.
talk about being a good cop and a bad cop at the same time,
Yes.
right? Because
Yeah.
you're actually like, you have to like do both the things at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
right?
You have to
And
constantly ask yourself, does this align with my artistic principles, but also is it going to make money? So it's an important way of
yeah.
looking at it. Yeah.
I mean, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, was entrepreneurship
No,
always on
really,
the cards?
it doesn't come naturally to me. I cannot think about making money. I'll first think about doing a good job. I'll first think about giving quality, whether it came to my dancing or teaching or any of the choices I made in my life, my adult life after I passed out of college, have always been about the heart and very less about like what's
The
in,
head.
yeah. So it doesn't come naturally to me actually, but there's so many other aspects that I seem to. I'm realizing that I have a knack for, like whether it is presenting certain, like the brand in a certain way, and communicating with your audiences. I feel very comfortable doing that. So I'm enjoying that for now, and I'm going to think about the money aspect of it a little later. First, I
That's
want to build a brand and really like gain the trust of my customers. So
no,
that's
for
the
sure. Yeah,
primary goal.
absolutely. Yeah. Let's just go back a little, Kiran, and I just want to quickly kind of, for dancers here, just for you to tell us, like, how did dance happen to you? Like, you said you always operated from the heart. So,
Yes. Yeah.
did dance always sort of, when did you find that connection with dance?
Yeah, it was about, I mean, see, I've been learning since when I was 6, and I had my own ups and downs with it. I was one of those rebellious teenagers who said, I don't want to dance. This is my mother's dream. I have my own dream. And I didn't do anything at the end of the day. But finally, when I was like in my college, I realized I really missed dancing and I wanted to go back to it. And it was a time when I was struggling with my identity. I didn't know who I was, what is my thing. Like I don't know what that was. And at that point, dance happened to me, and that really like filled those gaps. And I like the fact that when I walked into the room, they would be like, "Oh, this girl, she learns Bharatanatyam." So I like that. So that was when I started connecting with it. And also, like I told you, I have a knack for, I like doing all these things creative. I used to write, I used to sing, I used to paint, all those things. So they all kind of came together very beautifully through my dance. So that was when I really found that connect with dancing, and it was my Arangetram that sealed the deal. Like I really enjoyed performing. It was like a rush that I had never experienced before, and also all my personality, flaws that I was, like not confident about, all those things that I was doubtful about, they kind of vanished when I was on stage. I felt very, very empowered. So I really liked that feeling. So that was when I decided I want to be a performer.
Wow. I mean, Kiran, do you even know like how much like positive vibes you're like giving me right now? Like I had
Thank
such a
you.
like a
Are you
crazy
sure
day,
it's
but
not
you're
the good
like just
lighting?
lovely. Anyway, Kiran, I want to ask you a little bit about, I read about Tarikita and, we've been talking and stuff. So I'm familiar with what it does. I've checked out your site, everything. But I want you to tell us a little bit about what was that moment when you decided that you wanted to start this store, this
Yeah.
curated boutique, online
Right.
boutique for dancers.
Right. So exactly a year ago, like last year Vijay Dasmi,
Oh,
we were like all in the pandemic, and I hadn't seen my students physically for a while, and we were all coming to terms with the fact that okay, we're gonna meet online and carry on with these dance classes, which was a big no back in the day, right? Like everybody, all any teacher was worth their salt would be like, you can't learn classical dance online. I mean, we all had our ivory towers and we refused to come down. So, but then finally we were accepting it. So it was during that time that I realized it was so difficult for me to coordinate a virtual Vijay Dasmi Puja, which was something, it's a sort of a tradition that we
yeah, yeah.
keep up in our class. And telling the students how to tie their saris, or, come dressed in certain color, do your hair this way. All that was so difficult, because till then, I would have a few volunteers, and if it was the day of the program, we would hire a makeup man, ask some mothers to come drape the saris, all of that. So I feel like we don't have an easy way to do this. We don't have an easy way to order costumes. We don't have an easy way to find jewelry. We don't have easy ways to, like for parents to do the hair of their children and dress them up and not make them look, like Chandramukis. So I was like, there should be something. And that's when it struck me, like, why can't, there be an online store where we do these kind of products? And from there, that idea kind of snowballed and became bigger and bigger. And I was like, why not do different practice saris? Why should we wear the same old practice saris which have been around for like generations, like no innovation in that field? And why should the jewelry be just, either the really expensive temple jewelry, which you have to go to Mylapore and buy, or it will be the really, bad quality stuff,
Yeah,
which you'll,
yeah,
find in
just
small.
two ends. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's either like this, there, or here. And even the hair accessories and all of that, like you have to sit and put like 1,000 pins in your hair before every performance, and you really have to be good at it, or you have to hire somebody. So these were some of the main problems I could just think of, and I wanted to address them right, off the bat. And I tried to, get in touch with people, did my research, and it took me a whole year actually. Although I've been speaking to you about this idea over the last 3, 4 months, 4, 5 months,
yeah,
but it took a whole year to finally figure out what it is and how are we going to do this, and is it viable in the first place. And I was
yeah.
really scared at first to even
Correct.
take this step. So yeah, that's what happened. And finally the name, it's funny how we came up with the name also. Like I thought of many options. First I was like Natya Shaw, and then my friends were like, that's really boring. And then I said Tilana, and then my docky friends were like singing the Rajnikant song, Tilana Tilana.
That's
And
what I thought just now.
yeah. And then I said Vermilion vibe and all. Then my friends were like, we have to Google what vermilion means. And then I was like, fine, what do I say? Takadimi, Tarikita, what? And they're like, Tarikita, Tarikita is the one. I mean, that sounds so good. It's so musical. It's catchy. And I was like, yeah, why not? So that's just how it happened.
Lovely, fantastic. Kina, I want to ask you a little bit about, aesthetics, right?
Yes.
I mean, just based on everything that we see that you put out on your
Yes.
personal page as well, aesthetics have like a very, like, I mean, you're
Yeah.
clearly very proud of your aesthetics, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, and you must. So
Yeah.
I want to understand, like, how much of your aesthetics really sort of finds expression in the curation of the Tarikita store itself, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also curious whether sometimes, like, you know, when you edit a newspaper, sometimes
Yeah.
we have our biases, right? That
Right.
for example, when I took over, I would feature a lot of the arts, and I
Yes.
would ignore a little bit of, you know,
Yeah.
fashion. But other editors would be more passionate. So I'm curious about how do you kind of draw that line in terms of, like, this is my aesthetics, and I believe that my aesthetics is good.
Yes.
But how can I also cater to so many other different kinds of aesthetics? So I'm curious to understand that a little bit.
That's still a learning curve for me, actually, because I very naturally tend to impose my aesthetics onto Tarikita. I use the word impose
Obviously.
because I mean, I tend to think that, yeah, why would anyone not like this? But there are still a few products which don't get as much response as some others do. And in fact, there were a few pieces which I just held back. Like I had them at hand, they were in stock, but I didn't bother taking pictures and putting them up on the website because I'm like, who's gonna buy this? And I was like, okay, fine, might as well. And those pieces get sold out the same day. So I was like, okay, so here's something that I need to learn and accept and understand the pulse of the audience versus what I think is good. So it is a learning curve. I do, bring in a lot of my own aesthetics into it, but I'm also
Yeah.
trying now, and I think it's through empathy. It has to be, you have to empathize with other people and understand where they're coming from. So all those help make that choice. Yeah.
Right. But as I was asking you this question, I was also thinking about how, in a certain way, that when a designer puts out their aesthetics, you
Yeah.
know, you're
Yeah.
also creating a certain aspiration, right?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
also raising the bar, overall aesthetics
Absolutely.
bar,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so I want you to talk to me a little bit about, you know, the range,
Yeah.
you know, of products that you have,
Yes.
and what is the kind of sort of that touch that you are bringing to it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So I noticed that, like earlier, there was a very fixed template in which you would imagine a classical dancer. Like she'd have that costume, jewelry, hair, all of that.
Yeah.
But of late, a lot of young people or even like seasoned dancers, they have their style. They come up with a certain way they do their hair or a certain necklace they wear, which becomes their thing. And
Yeah.
and
Signature
going
style.
yeah, and going further, like you'll see a lot of students of theirs be like, we want to wear this necklace like our ma'am wears, and they will like try doing that,
Yeah.
and that's a really cool thing. So I was like, if people are ready to experiment and step away from the standard template and do things, why not give them more options? Why not create a more democratic kind of a market where they can pick and choose products which are more versatile, and they can kind of like drape themselves in these products to define how they would want to like they should be able to express themselves through it. So that was really the idea. I didn't have a fixed template as to I'm going to do this and they're going to put them all together and look like that. I wanted to do practice saris and something like kalamkari saris. Will it work, will it not? It might not. Who's going to wear them, where are they going to wear? I didn't think much. I just like thought we should give them an option. Mangalgiri cotton silk, like you see behind me. So you would think practice sarees are only for going and sweating it out in class, but we have online performances nowadays. We have lecture demonstrations. We have like a whole other range. Like people want something simple for photo shoots. So I'm just trying to be sensitive to all these needs and trying to create products keeping all that in mind. So the
Yeah.
idea was to make versatile products.
Yeah. I mean, sensitive to also a very dynamic, changing world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, you used two words, Kiran. One was democratic and another was versatile. And I think these two words are also important from what I understand, you know, the philosophy of your brand itself. In fact, Alap ran one of your campaigns, which
Yes.
was really about, you know, the dolls, right?
Yes.
The Kondapalli dolls,
Yes.
which were basically, you had like dolls of all kinds. And it was basically to celebrate the whole idea of differences and diversity and inclusivity. Would you like to talk a little bit about that, and also from the point of view of why that is also imperative in the world of dance and dancers, but also imperative in the world of merchandise that caters to the world of dance?
Yeah. So firstly, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my own, like in my head, I feel like I'm not, I'm a Telugu girl from Kuchipudi land who's not Telugu enough, and I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer who's not Tamil enough. And growing up, my folks, my parents were not very like, they're ambivalent about religious beliefs or, the community that we come from. All those things are not like defining, factors of my personality.
Correct.
So I always kind of like feel I'm neither here nor there. Who am I? What is it? What is
Yeah,
it I do?
sure.
So that's why I felt so strongly about, that you should be able to define a dancer in many more ways. Like there's so much more to dancers than what we imagine. Like the olden days dancers are like, you imagine they wear a big bindi, they have this terracotta jewelry.
Stereotype,
like yeah, so why should we stereotype them? I'm here, I'm dancing, but I also, like do a bunch of other things. There's there's Prachi who does voice artist. She's a voice artist apart from being a dancer. There's somebody, Nayantara, who's like, she's a fitness enthusiast and she does like a cooking and all that apart from her dancing. So we all have different personalities and really passionate about it. We don't sit and dance 24/7. I mean, that's just us. So I wanted to first of all resonate. I wanted to bring a brand that resonates with that, with the multifaceted, nuanced, new age dancers who are just like, they're cool.
have
they
different identities, right?
Yes, multiple, yeah. So that was one aspect of it, and also the fact that it can be rather stifling when there is just this one box that dancers are expected to fit into, this image, whether it's your body type, whether it's like how you speak on stage, or whether how you are outside. They expect, if there is this unsaid rule, there's expectation that when you go on stage, namaskaram, I'm about to present this piece, or there's this whole like, you have to speak like that. Why can't you just say, hi everyone, I'd like to present this? Or why should you wear a sari to a kacheri? Why? So I was just thinking about all of that, and I realized a lot of people are now coming out and speaking about how stifling this is, and they just want to be themselves. And I want to be one of those people, and I want my brand to, also resonate with that. So that is the idea.
No, that's fantastic. If women with strong voices didn't do that, then who would, right?
Yes.
So I'm glad that vision, that personal vision in a certain way, is also translating into the vision for the brand itself. Right. Kiran, they say that with great power comes great responsibility. Now you're a business person, and you say that this is a brand by a dancer for dancers. And like dancers are a tough lot, right? They're not easy to sort of negotiate. So I want to ask you a little bit about this for dancer, by dancer for dancers, and also considering the fact that you're also, I noticed from your Instagram posts, you're like really good with all DIY stuff, right? You have like obviously a thing for design. I want to ask you, like, how are you like upping the bar, really, in terms of just catering to an audience that is also extremely nuanced and well informed about exactly what they want. Right? It's not an easy customer that you're going to be handling. So I want to ask you a little bit about how you're going to manage this.
Well, even though we are a tough lot, I think, but we're all suckers for all things pretty, and we love dressing up, and we love all things that are beautiful, right? So that doesn't seem such a difficult goal for me. I feel like when I put these things out, I'm getting a lot of love, and it is getting accepted. And I have an interesting, like the last 10 years that I've spent doing a bunch of things, which I feel like now they're all kind of coming together in a very interesting way for me. Like, I've had an experience, like I worked for a corporate company, so I've learned about, all they spoke about was customer satisfaction and writing short emails and making sure the other person is able to understand exactly what you're saying. And then after that, I went on to work with a production house where, it was a film production house that produced Bahubali. So I had like a very interesting time over there working for, like I was interviewing some of the cast and crew of the film, like whether it was the art director Sabu Cyril or Sendil, who was the cameraman. And I wrote reviews. I reviewed films. I did fashion reviews. I used to write blogs, and I did event management a little later after that. I did my own, like, I had an event management company that I started along with my friends after watching
Right.
the band Baja Barat, and we did like some weddings. Yeah, and then like a huge range of things, and I feel like all that is now coming
Culminating.
together here when I'm like presenting a brand of my own, whether it is with how coming up with a brand identity or curating the products or designing the products, all that seems to just finally come together. And I think the biggest factor through this entire phase was the pandemic, because these 2 years that we've all had has really taken us away from the rat race and given us perspective. And it's this perspective that has really made me see what are the things that really matter. Till then, I was like a frog in the well, really worrying about my aramandi not being deep enough or my elbows not being strong enough and all of that. But now, it's not so much about all that. It's so much more. Like, it's about what dance does to you, and how do you and to everybody else also. Like, I feel like that's the perspective I've got right now, about just accepting all the facets of my personality. Like, like till then I had not told anybody that I can also graphic design. I can also like I don't know, edit videos professionally. I have all these skills which I would never tell anybody, because I'd be like, they not take me seriously as a dancer. But now I'm proud of it, and now I use them to my advantage with Karikita. So
No, that's
that's the way it's
fantastic.
coming
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
I mean, that's great. How do you manage to now fit your Adavu and Armandi into your daily schedule?
Well, to be honest, I've had, like my ups and downs postpartum. I delivered my baby like 2 years ago, right just before the pandemic started. So I had to battle with my fair share of postpartum depression, or, the pandemic blues, and gaining weight after postpartum, and whatever. Like, I had injuries. So it's been an uphill battle. It's going on. But off late, I've discovered that I can do my adavas in the swimming pool, which is a secret that I'm letting out here. So I've been
Oh,
going to the
wow.
pool and doing my adavas in the water, and that has been helping with my injury without affecting my knees, and I'm able to stretch.
Absolutely. It's the
So,
best.
yeah. So
As
I think
someone who's battled
aqua
a host of
Bharatanatyam.
injuries, yeah, I can
Yeah, so
tell
I
you that
think
that
aqua
experience.
Bharatanatyam is something like we have to look into and come up with a genre of that. But yeah, that's and of course it is tough to fit it in. But in the morning, I assign my daughter to my husband. I make sure that she has breakfast, and I run to the pool and I do this. So it's a lot of work,
Okay,
but yeah, I
maybe
have.
Tarikita could
Yeah.
have like a range of swimming wear for aqua
Yeah,
Bharatanatyam.
I know. There's an idea for you.
Yeah. Anyway, Kiran, would you just show us around, because I see that your
Definitely.
setup is really nice. Because
Definitely.
we're at the 30-minute mark, and I know that everybody is sort of
Sorry, I dropped my phone, but yeah, 1 second. So here we have some of my jewelry pieces. So these are some of my really most loved pieces. It's not very well lit, but yeah, you can see what it is. And these are some of the practice saris that we have. We've draped this sari on the mannequin. So these are super
beautiful.
light and very, very breathable fabrics. And they look good on stage and off stage, for performances, for photo shoots, for all of that. And they're washable, and that's what you want when you're going to sweat it out. And we have a whole range of cotton kalamkari practice saris, and we're going to be coming up with more such stuff. And
Beautiful.
we also do some hair accessories. So it's just as simple as, with one hand you can just put this on your kondai,
I
and you
know.
have all the flowery touches
This
that you
looks
need.
gorgeous.
Yeah, so we do that in several colors. We have, pink and maroons and the
orange.
Kanakambaram color and all of that. Yeah, and most of our jewelry, and we make sure that we package this in plastic-free packaging. And
Okay.
yeah, we're trying to be conscious like that, and make sure that another new business venture shouldn't contribute to negatively to
Yeah,
jewelry.
yeah. Yeah,
So
I know that you
that's
also
one
talk a
thing.
lot about environment and sustainability as well, right, Kiran?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do believe in that. It
Yeah,
keeps me awake at night. Yeah.
yeah. But I just want you to just also show me your sari because it's just so pretty and I didn't get a chance to like, yeah.
I don't know if you can get a full view, but this is
Oh,
also a Mangalgiri silk,
oh, it's
cotton silk saree with
beautiful.
check.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's got these
fantastic.
lovely zari
Yeah.
checks and a silver. And I'm also wearing Tarikita unreleased Tarikita silver jewelry, which will be coming in very soon.
Okay.
We're trying to cater to Odissi dancers as well because, like I said, it's for everyone, all things dance. So
Right.
right now
Absolutely.
we're focusing on Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi, but eventually we'll have stuff for the whole range of all classical dancers. We'll have like a lot more interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Kiran, congratulations, firstly.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I know that Diwali is around the corner. Do you have like some exciting stuff for Diwali before we
Yes.
sign off?
Yes, so I was now I'm sharing with our audiences that towards the end of today's live, I'll be sharing a special discount code which the audiences of this live session will get. So you guys, if you're here, please note it down because I'm not going to be writing about this anywhere, especially for our listeners and viewers here. So you can use the discount code Tarikita Lap. Okay, it's like putting it together, Tarikita and just lap, L-A-P, Tarikita lap, L-A-P, which is like Tarikita lap, 10. Okay, because you're going to get a 10% off on all our jewelry till the end of this week. We do have a lot of offers for Diwali, but for you guys especially till the end of this week, which is Sunday, you can come onto our website, pick whatever you like, add it to your cart, and at the end, when you're checking out, you can add this discount code Tarikitala10, and you will get an off. And the code is valid from 7 o'clock today. So yeah, it's been half an hour, so it's
Wow.
there.
So Kiran, what happens
Yeah.
to people who watch, like people who wake up in the US and watch this later? Like, are they
No,
eligible?
it's there. It's valid. So in the today is Wednesday, so you have
Yeah.
6 or whatever, like till Sunday. Whenever
Okay.
you watch this live, you will be able to catch this
All
code.
right. Fantastic. And thank you for, syncing our name into this. And incidentally, it's like Alaps, we're going into our 10th year. So 10 seemed like a good number. That's the first thing that struck me.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. I mean, congratulations and keep inspiring and keep like sharing.
Thank you
I
for
mean,
having
I
me.
only have one grouse, which is basically like I want to buy that Mangalgiri sari, but I'm not a dancer. So you have to make it
Very
little
soon.
inclusive for non-dancers.
Because we've been getting so many requests, we were also planning to like put in a few full-length saris, which are for non-dancers or dancers who want to wear just full-length saris. But yeah, the idea at first was to cater to dancers because you will find full-length saris anywhere, but you will not find this anywhere else.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Because after all, your tagline is all things dance.
Yes.
So they're like I could dance too. So yeah. So do cater to like non-dancers as well.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, Kiran, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who watched this.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.